have probably heard people say, I can read people instantly, or I just know when someone is lying. Psychology says something very different. You can read people quickly, but not magically, not perfectly, and never from a single sign. Real psychological accuracy comes from patterns, probabilities, and context. In this video, you will learn how psychologists actually read people ethically, scientifically, and reliably using research backed cues you can notice within minutes. The first rule is the most important one. There is no single behavior that reveals someone's thoughts or intentions. Anyone claiming otherwise is selling a myth. Human behavior is shaped by personality, culture, situation, stress, and motivation all at once. That is why psychologists never look for tells, they look for patterns. The process always begins with a baseline. A baseline is how someone behaves when they feel neutral and safe. Before interpreting anything, observe how the person normally speaks, moves, and reacts. Do they usually talk fast or slow? Do they gesture often or barely at all? Is their eye contact brief or steady? Without a baseline, interpretation is just guessing. Once a baseline is established, psychologists watch for deviations, changes that matter more than behavior itself. Next comes cognitive load. When people are thinking harder, whether they are solving a problem, recalling information, or experiencing inner conflict, their behavior shifts. Research shows higher cognitive load often leads to longer pauses, simpler sentences, fewer gestures, and reduced facial expression. This does not automatically mean lying. It means mental effort. Someone recalling a real but complex memory can show the same signs as someone inventing a story. Psychology always evaluates context. Now, let's talk about facial expressions. Microexpressions are not lie detectors. Psychological research shows facial expressions alone cannot reliably reveal deception. What psychologists look for instead are emotional mismatches. A smile without eye engagement, sad words spoken in a cheerful tone, anger described calmly. These mismatches suggest emotional regulation or suppression, not dishonesty by default, but incongruence. Next is body orientation, not body language myths. Crossed arms does not automatically mean defensiveness. Instead, psychologists observe orientation over time. Psychological engagement often appears as a torso angling toward interest, subtle posture mirroring, and leaning enduring curiosity or agreement. Disengagement appears as feet pointing away, torso turning aside, and increasing physical distance. These signals matter only when they change from baseline. Speech patterns offer some of the strongest insight. Research in psycholinguistics show language reflects mental state. People who feel confident and truthful tend to speak with natural rhythm, include sensory details, and casually correct themselves. People under stress or internal conflict often use fewer concrete details, rely on generalizations, repeat questions before answering, or over-structure responses. Stress does not equal lying. It signals emotional or cognitive strain. Response timing is another key factor. Not how fast someone answers, but where the delay appears. If hesitation occurs only around specific topics, it signals emotional significance. Psychologists call this selective latency. It means the topic activates something meaningful, uncertainty, fear, memory, or evaluation. Then there is emotional leakage. Humans are good at controlling what they say, but much worse at controlling brief emotional reactions. Emotional leakage appears as rapid facial shifts, sudden vocal pitch changes, or momentary tension in the jaw, neck, or shoulders. These moments don't reveal secrets, they reveal emotional reactions. Psychology doesn't ask What are they hiding? It asks us, what are they reacting to? The most overlooked skill in reading people is pattern consistency over time. One behavior means nothing. Three aligned behaviors suggests direction. Repeated patterns across situations suggest traits. Psychologists don't conclude instantly. They form hypotheses and then test them against new observations. And there is an ethical line that matters. Reading people is not about control, manipulation, or superiority. Psychological ethics emphasize understanding, empathy, and accuracy. When you read people well, you don't judge faster. You judge less, you assume less, and you listen more. So, if you want the honest psychological answer to reading people instantly, here it is. You don't read people instantly, you read them intelligently, gradually, and with humility. And that's what actually works.